you are carrying about. They are your ISP. For instance, if you have NTN, you have Airtel, you have Etisalat, you have which other one? Visa phone, Glow. You know, you can imagine. So some of us are carrying about like 5 ISP together at the same time. So that's the way it is. And don't forget that their offices are far away. You know, they are far away. It's not necessary that if you are in Ijora here, it doesn't mean that the Visa phone office or Globe office is in Ijora. I don't know if you get it. Now, what I'm trying to say is that ISP office could be far away from where you are. But how do you get that network? It's because they have a base station around that location. Do you get? By way of mast and a radio mounted on it. So it's just the same analogy here. You have a mast and you have a radio mounted on it. But on that radio, you will observe that there is a cable that is, you know, dropping out from it. Can we see it? Can we see a cable? Right. I want to quickly do a demonstration of how it works. What I'm trying to explain is that I did mention outdoor and indoor equipment. And I said when, of course, you look at a mast and a radio mounted on it, there's actually a cable that is dropping, you know, from that radio. Now let's take, for example, this is a cable, you know, coming from the radio. You understand? Now the cable would have to go into a correspondent indoor equipment, and of course, which is this. This is called a Cisco router. I'm sure some of us might want to look at it and say it looks like video player. Any other idea? A CD player. And there is one that is very close to us. What about your DSTV decoder? Because I was waiting for that. Now let's just cast our mind, you know, back to our home, our various home, and say, okay, fine. If I'm going to have DSTV in my house, for instance, there must be an outdoor equipment and indoor equipment, because they must first of all put a dish outside. And then on that dish, there is a reflector or a kind of a transmitter that would have to be plugged onto it. And now the transmitter is actually the one that is bringing the signal to my home. But when they now run the cable, you know, from outside, they bring it inside our parlor. And then the next thing is that that cable goes into the back of the decoder. And by that time, we are sure of, you know, getting some channels that we want to watch. So it's the same idea. So as the cable is coming from the radio, it goes into this router. And there are two types of ports here. One of the ports, which is standing alone here, is referred to as WAN port. W-A-N, WAN port. And it means wide area network. Wide area network. Again, I said the ISP is located somewhere that we don't know. And of course, it's bringing the signal to our office. So it's coming from a wide area. That's just the idea. It's coming from a wide area. Now, so what you do is you plug in the other end of the cable into your wide area network ports. So So once you plug it in there, you are sure that the signal is available on the router here. So how do you actually, double sure of that? This router has a power button, off and on, and then it has a power cable that you are going to plug into them and plug into power source. Now, also you'll be sure that yes, there is something here. When of course you switch it on and there's a light that shows here that okay, the equipment is functioning.